Have you ever prayed and felt like your words hit the ceiling and bounced right back? Like God has you on mute. While it seems like everyone else gets instant answers, you're still waiting, wondering if he even heard you. I'm about to show you why some prayers move heaven while others seem to go nowhere, and it has nothing to do with how spiritual you are. Here's what nobody talks about. There are specific prayers that God cannot ignore. Not because of the words you use, but because they align with 3 biblical keys that force heaven's attention. And before you think this is prosperity gospel nonsense, these keys come straight from Jesus' mouth, David's psalms, and prayers that literally stop the sun. Let me tell you about Rachel. She prayed for her business breakthrough for 3 years. Nothing. Then she changed one thing about how she prayed, using these 3 keys, and within 48 hours, doors that were welded shut suddenly flew open. She didn't pray harder. She prayed smarter. Or James, who watched his marriage crumbling despite praying every single day. Religious friends told him to just have more faith. But when he discovered these 3 keys, his prayers went from desperate begging to confident declaring. His wife later said, "Something changed, not just in our marriage, in the atmosphere of our home." Stop. I know what you're thinking. Another prayer formula? No, this isn't about formulas. It's about understanding how heaven's legal system works. Because prayer isn't just communication, it's legislation, and most of us have been filing the paperwork wrong. These 3 keys aren't magic words. They're alignment principles that Jesus demonstrated every time he prayed. Ready to discover why your breakthrough might be one prayer away? The first key hit me like lightning when I really studied how Jesus prayed. It's found in John 15:7. "If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done." Key 1. Pray God's words back to him. This isn't repetition, it's legislation. When you pray scripture, you're not informing God of his promises. You're activating them. You're taking heaven's constitution and filing a legal claim. Watch how Jesus did it. Facing Satan in the wilderness, every response was, "It is written." On the cross, he prayed Psalm 22. He wasn't just quoting, he was legislating with heaven's authority. I learned this when my family faced financial disaster. Instead of begging, "God, please provide," I started declaring, "My God supplies all my needs according to his riches and glory." Not my words, his words. The shift was immediate, not in the situation first, in my spirit. Then the situation followed. David understood this. The Psalms aren't just songs. They're warfare prayers using God's own promises as weapons. You said, therefore I declare. This pattern appears over 100 times. But here's what most people miss. You can't pray promises you don't know. That's why the enemy works overtime to keep you from scripture. He knows that when you start praying God's words, heaven must respond. It's not optional. God cannot deny himself. Sarah discovered this when facing legal battles. She wrote 15 specific scriptures about justice and vindication, prayed them daily, not emotionally, legally, like a lawyer presenting precedent. Within 3 weeks, the impossible situation completely reversed. The judge literally said, "I don't know why, but I feel compelled to rule in your favor." The second key destroyed everything I thought about prayer timing. It's hidden in Mark 11:24. "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." Key 2. Thank God before you see it. Past tense faith. This isn't positive thinking. It's understanding time differently. In heaven's dimension, your answer already exists. Your thanksgiving isn't hoping, it's receiving what's already released. Look at Jesus at Lazarus' tomb. Before any miracle, he says, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." Lazarus is still dead. But Jesus is already thanking. He's not in denial, he's in a different timeline. This broke my brain until I tried it. Facing impossible deadlines at work, instead of panic prayers, I started thinking, "Thank you that wisdom is already released. Thank you that favor is already working." The solutions came from nowhere, but really, they came from thanksgiving. Joshua did this at Jericho. Before the walls fell, they shouted victory, not after, before. The shout of thanksgiving was the trigger, not the celebration. But here's the revolutionary part. Thanksgiving changes your frequency. Worry vibrates at fear's level. Thanksgiving vibrates at heaven's frequency. You literally tune into the realm where your answer exists. Michael practiced this with his job search. 6 months of rejection. Then he started each day thanking God for the job you've already prepared. Not generic thanks, specific. Thank you for the right position, right salary, right team. Week 3 of Thanksgiving, 3 offers came simultaneously. All 3 exceeded his requests. The enemy hates Thanksgiving because it's time travel. You're celebrating victory while still in battle. You're accessing tomorrow's miracle today. This isn't fake it till you make it. It's take it because he already made it. The third key is why some people's prayers shake hell while others barely make a ripple. Jesus revealed it in Matthew 18:19. If 2 of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done. Key 3, pray in violent agreement. Not just any agreement, violent agreement. The Greek word is symphonio, where we get symphony. When 2 create prayer symphony, heaven cannot stay silent. This isn't about numbers, it's about alignment. 1 person plus God is majority, but 2 people plus God is government. Jesus said, "Where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am." He doesn't just show up, he shows up with authority. I witnessed this when Tom and his brother agreed for their father's restoration after 40 years of rejecting God. They created prayer symphony every day for 73 days. Same time, same declaration, violent agreement. Day 74, their father called crying. "I don't know what's happening, but I need God." No human convinced him. The agreement created atmospheric pressure heaven couldn't ignore. But here's what violent agreement really means. You're not just agreeing with each other, you're agreeing with heaven's verdict against hell's lies. You become heaven's enforcement on earth. The early church understood this. Acts 4:31, they prayed in agreement and the building shook. Not metaphorically, physically. Their agreement created measurable power. Find your prayer partner, not someone who'll agree with your problem, but who'll agree with heaven's solution. Create symphony. Set specific times, make exact declarations. Linda and her sister did this for their family business. Daily 6 a.m. calls, 5-minute violent agreement. Within 30 days, contracts they'd chased for years suddenly materialized. Heaven aligned with their agreement. Right now, you're holding 3 keys that can revolutionize your prayer life. Let's activate them immediately. First, grab your phone, open your notes. Write 1 specific promise from Scripture that addresses your biggest need. Not a whole chapter. 1 surgical promise. This becomes your declaration starting tomorrow morning. Second, before you pray another request, stop and thank God for 3 things He's already done. Then thank Him for what He's about to do. Speak past tense about your future. Thank you that you've already worked this out. Feel the shift? That's you changing frequencies. Third, text someone right now. Say, "I need a prayer partner for violent agreement. 5 minutes daily." Specific target. You in? Don't overthink it. Heaven's waiting for symphony. Here's your prayer activation right now. Father, I thank you that you've already heard this prayer. Your word says you're not slow in keeping promises. I declare, insert your scripture. I thank you it's already done in heaven. Now let it be done on earth, in Jesus' name. Something just shifted. You felt it. That's heaven responding to proper protocol. But wait, remember my last 2 videos? We discovered how God turns weakness into strength, then how to access supernatural joy. Now you have the prayer keys to activate both. This isn't coincidence, it's sequence. Weakness plus joy plus prayer plus unstoppable. If you haven't watched those videos, stop and watch them now. They're on your screen. This trilogy wasn't planned by me. It was orchestrated by heaven for your breakthrough. These 3 messages together create a spiritual nuclear reaction. Your weakness becomes strength filled with unshakable joy, activated by prayers heaven can't ignore. Click those videos now. Your complete transformation is 3 videos away. With faith and power. Gabriel Elias, Pax Animae.